Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we continue our series of decks led by the legendary creatures from the Final Fantasy set. Yes, I know that Edge of Eternities is out, and we've even had some Spider-Man spoilers, but I don't care. Final Fantasy comes first. Well, actually, Patreon-sponsored videos come first because YouTube only pays me a couple of bucks every 1,000 views, but I digress. Leading today's deck is the woman who gave all of us a bit of a belt fetish in the early 2000s, Lulu, Stern Guardian. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Lulu, Stern Guardian is a 3-mana 2/3 legendary human wizard. Whenever an opponent attacks us, we choose target creature attacking us, then put a stun counter on it. We may also pay 4 mana to proliferate. For those who don't remember, stun counters are a fairly new type of counter, only a few years old. Normally, when you get to your untap phase, you untap all of your permanents. But if a permanent is tapped with a stun counter on it, you remove the stun counter instead. So not only does Lulu stun our opponent's creatures, she can also add more stun counters through her activated ability. What else can we proliferate? Lulu comes from Final Fantasy X, and she grew up in the same town as Yuna. She is stoic and comes across as cold, but she's actually a gentle and loving person. This is common in Japanese media and is often known as a kudere. Lulu is a black mage, but unlike black mages from previous Final Fantasy games, she looks more like a gothic witch. Well, before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. For the past few years, Ultimate Guard has been hard at work finding ways to protect your cards without damaging the planet, and they have discovered it. Boulders, once made entirely of plastic, are now made of 87% renewable resources. They also come in a variety of sizes and colors, like this new teal 133 card box. If you're like me, you have a ton of decks, want a little bit of extra space for your tokens in your deck boxes, and don't want those boxes filling up an entire suitcase, then this box is the perfect solution. Find it if your local game store carries the new Return to Earth boulders from Ultimate Guard, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Majoring Network, Saprazan Scary, War Room, Reliquary Tower, Myriad Landscape, Scavenger Grounds, Karn's Bastion, and 27 islands. Not bad for a budget deck. For mana ramp, we've got Vexing Puzzle Box, Iceberg, Gemstone Array, Workhorse, Pentad Prism, Cryptic Trilobite, Crystalline Crawler, Coalition Relic, Strixhaven Stadium, Everflowing Chalice, Replicating Ring, Astral Cornucopia, Seance Board, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Decanter of Endless Water, Thrawn Dynamo, Solemn Simulacrum, Sapphire Medallion, and As Foretold. Some staples, but most of our mana ramp benefits from proliferate effects. We also have quite a few cards that allow us to remove a counter to add mana. Hooray, synergy! For card advantage, we've got Mind Unbound, Mindless Automaton, 20-Toed Toad, Lost Isle Calling, Archmage Ascension, Tezzeret's Gambit, Prologue to Phyresis, Contentious Plan, Experimental Augury, Owaka Traveling Merchant, and Archaeomancer. Lots of ways to dig through our deck, and many either help to proliferate or benefit from proliferating. Our interaction and spot removal package consists of Scroll of Isildur, Grappling Kraken, Summon Shiva, Counterspell, Negate, Tamio the Moon Sage, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Serum Snare, Arcane Denial, Reject Imperfection, Pongify, Commit Memory, Succumb to the Cold, and Rapid Hybridization. Mostly counter magic, but we are in blue, so what did you expect? For board wipes, we've got Monstrosity of the Lake, Lost in the Maze, and Aetherize. I love the idea of casting Monstrosity of the Lake, paying the extra 5 mana, tapping down and stunning all of our opponent's creatures, then proliferating. What? We didn't kill your creatures, we just keep them tapped. Forever. The core of our deck consists of the Millennium Calendar, Lux Artillery, Darksteel Reactor, Fear of Sleep Paralysis, The Watcher in the Water, Blighted Agent, Viral Drake, Myojin of Cryptic Dreams, and Chasm Skulker. Supporting our plan, we've also got Flux Channeler, Inexorable Tide, Training Grounds, Thrumming Bird, Propaganda, and Radstorm. Wanted some extra ways to proliferate. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 56 mana sources split between 34 lands and 22 pieces of ramp. Heavy, I know, but there's a reason for that. 11 pieces of card advantage, 14 pieces of interaction, 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds and Commit Memory, 1 Sudden I Win card in Training Grounds. Wait a minute, Danon, how can Training Grounds win us the game? Well, it can't by itself, but it does make going infinite with this deck that much easier. But wait a minute, Danon, since this is a budget deck, I figured it would be a Bracket 2 deck. It is, dear viewer. You can go infinite in a Bracket 2 deck, just not with a 2-card combo. And you will not go infinite in this deck with a 2-card combo. It's more like a 4 or 5-card combo. Basically, we need to have a bunch of permanents in our deck that allow us to remove a counter to add mana. Crystalline Crawler, Cryptic Tribolite, Iceberg, etc. We need these to have at least 2 counters on them. We then remove counters from them and activate our commander. We proliferate and add counters back to these permanents. We can then repeat an infinite number of times. So long as our opponents have a poison counter, or we have 20-toed Toad on board, or Lux Artillery on board, we win the game. Are you building a Lulu Stern Guardian commander deck? What about a deck led by one of the other legendary creatures from Final Fantasy? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Borgie, Nazwin Conga, Robert Pye, Kazaris, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard Sint, Boomy, Osira, Justin, Golden Walker, Ernesto, Midge, and Captain Hammer. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.